Like, imagine Lucretius had been totally wrong about atoms. Would that make his poetry any less moving? So, propositional theory has some issues, but at the same time, we don't want to abandon the idea that truth and beauty have some kind of connection. Like the other day, I was watching Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and there's this one bit towards the end where a chimpanzee stands upright on top of a car. I remember that shot being really jarring, because knowing what I do about chimp hips and spines and weight bearing, I knew that there's no way a chimp could ever stand like that no matter how super intelligent it got. I.e., the fact that it couldn't be true spoiled the aesthetic experience for me. But up until that point, I'd been quite happily watching a film about super intelligent chimpanzees. Which just goes to show that the relationship between truth and beauty is kind of weird. I could honestly go on and on about this, but I want to turn it over to you guys. What do you guys think about the relationship between truth and beauty? Leave a comment with your questions and suggestions, and we'll answer them at the end of the next video. Favourite, share, tell your friends about PhilosophyTube, and if it is true that you leave a like, then you are beautiful. You commented, therefore you exist. We want to take a look at some of your comments from our last video on I Think, Therefore I Am. First off, let me say a huge thank you to all of the people who subscribed off the back of our last video. I honestly never even expected anyone to watch it, so thank you so much, and I'm really happy you liked it, and I hope that we can slake your philosophical lust. Dark Renegade said, I think therefore I am is kind of a tautology, because if it's I think therefore I am, then yeah, duh, because you already said I in the premise. Yeah, that's a really good point. Matthew Jones asked, were you influenced by PBS Idea Channel? Yes, they were one of my major inspirations in making this project, as you can probably tell. I wanted to get some hardcore philosophy done, but in that kind of entertaining, light-hearted format. So if you guys haven't already subscribed to them, then you totally should. Some of you also commented on the reply we did to their video on artificial intelligence, in which we outlined John Searle's Chinese room theory. If you haven't seen those, then the original is here, and my reply is here, and I will put links in the description. The Scourge 007 and quite a few other people said that the Chinese room thought experiment is just as applicable to people as it is to computers, because there's no way you can tell if people really understand the symbols they shuffle around inside their heads. And yeah, the problem of other minds is definitely a huge issue in philosophy. Maybe you could say that it's easier to give the benefit of a doubt to a person than it is to the computer, because we already know that the brains and bodies arrangement works to produce consciousness, in our own case at least. Bujo asked, what if the AI was able to modify the rulebook it was working from and then connect to something like the internet? Would it be able to learn Chinese then? Yeah, learning AI is really interesting. I'm not quite sure how John Searle would answer that one. But remember that the ones and zeros of the internet would have to be in Chinese as well, so the point is that the guy in the room wouldn't be able to learn it if the only thing going back and forth was Chinese. Chinese characters, not Chinese letters. Thank you, the Jumping Zebra, and Duibuchi. To Oscar Twomey, Joshua Edward Pearson, Charlie Spargo, and Shakila Hamed, thank you guys so much for your really kind feedback. That really made my day.